Okay guys, so we promised you this video.
We have.
I'm walking here with a new bag, but not new clubs.
However, we are just walking up to the range at Moxham Hall, and this lad get a fitting.
With Andy, the fitter from Cobra.
Yes.
He's actually got the putters as well, which you've seen on his Instagram. We'll put that little Instagram pic up here. So guys, this is going to be a 3-part video. We'll do an irons, do a driver, then we'll give you like an overall summary of what specs I have gone for. They'll be up on the usual times.
Yep, usual time.
The
other thing as well is this lad here, famous. Just walking up to the range, someone stops and goes, "You're that from TikTok, aren't you? Thanks for the tips, mate." Loves it, the lad, loves it. Absolutely insta famous.
Infamous or famous. I'm not sure which one I am.
Right, let's get up to the range and we will start this video with
irons. Wedges maybe, I don't
wedges.
know.
Ooh.
The lot. Where's this aim line to?
Just right at the blocks.
So Alex is just warming up, but look at this. Golfing heaven. He's got shafts, some irons that are made up, so pure. Wedges. More irons and 1 length here. 1 length rad speeds, 1 length forge check. We'll have a look in here later. Putters, and look at these. Get in the comments if you think you could play with them.
Yeah, I played with them AMT here.
So pure.
They are heavy, yeah.
And
yes, so they're progressive.
Woods,
so
nice.
they drop down, so as they get down into the longer irons, they get a bit lighter. So they're 130 up at the top end, and I think they drop down to 110 by the time you get down to the 3 iron. Good to play with good golfers.
Exactly.
You only have one iffy one there really, to be fair, and I took it out.
Yeah, that's pretty much that. How I hit there is like how I'd hit it.
Yeah, it's good.
So just what are you going through here now? This is Andy, by the way, everyone, from Cobra.
So this is the 6 things We'll look at as we're going through the fit generally, not him. So we'll look. Yeah, he does. So obviously club head speed gives us an indication of where we're going in terms of shaft. You know, looking at how you swing it, how aggressive you are. You know, will determine weight of shaft that we go into. Angle of attack is obviously the club head coming into the golf ball, and it's lovely. You can see there that little number in the corner, in the negative number 4.4 down, which is really good. You're compressing the ball, and that has a direct impact on spin rate. So you can see there your spin rate averaging 7.5, so it's on.
How does that sit?
It's up at the higher end of spin, and we could probably see that in your ball flight. Yeah, it does spin.
It's weird that, like, if that's how I hit it normally, but if you asked me to hit it into the wind, I could probably take a load off it.
Yeah.
But that's how I would hit it, like, as a stock shot. Yeah,
and to be honest, we are off the mat a little bit, so it will enhance that spin, but it is at the high end. But you can see here, you launch it quite low. And that could be as a result of, you know, the shaft, that heavier shaft, but they complement each other. So you've always got that gap, so you've got your low launch but a higher spin. You know, you could turn that on its head and have a lower spin and a higher launch, so you've always got that gap. You know, and ball speed we'll use just for a comparison really when we go into the club we're going to fit into.
Because I've not been fitted for 3 years. So
yeah,
hopefully we see some.
Yeah, we might see some differences depending on what we go in, because you know we'll be going into something probably which has a bit of a weaker loft.
Yeah.
So we might see a drop off in distance, but
possibly
not. I mean, because you hit down on it nicely, so going into a more traditional loft isn't going to hurt you that much, to be honest. Ball speed obviously is an indication of centerness of strike. And it's a good comparison in terms of distance, because ball speed, distance, so we'll use that as the comparison. And obviously carry, we'll work on carry distances today rather than totals. Carry is more important.
So that's going 168.9, so 169 average.
Yeah, 169 average, you know, and your variation there are very good, consistent, 3.6 yards average between them, so that's pretty good, pretty consistent.
And 90 miles an hour club head speed. How does that sort of sit for a 7.9 club head speed?
That's, you're at the higher end. It's quick, you know.
And they're one lengths. I've used one length the last 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. So it's, you've got good club head speed there. So that's considering you're all wrapped up as well.
Those layers are coming off now.
So we're going to start pretty standard in terms of the fit. You know, standard length. You know, standard lie. And then we'll just build around it as we go.
So which one have you got in your hand there, Andy? Oh.
So we're going to try the Ricky Fowler Forged MB irons.
How'd that feel?
Bad start.
Nice. Feels quite upright, this club, for me. I don't know if it is. It could feel that way because it feels...
Yeah, I can see it. Toes up. Toes up. Get one more for me. Right. Yeah, have a look here. So, spin's gone off the planet. So, a combination of that little bit more loft on it. And potentially the shaft as well.
It's launched a little bit.
This launch has gone up a little bit, yeah. So everything kind of makes sense. So we may go into something a little bit heavier.
But down behind the that went left more than I anticipated. I don't feel like I was hitting it that left.
No. Spins down. Is that what you hit? Usually a little draw if you're playing? Or?
No, a little bit of a fade.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it's quite neutral really.
Yeah. This could be, with it being too upright.
Yeah, it just feels like it's starting a bit left of where I'm anticipating it.
Just hit one more for me.
So, just while you're changing that, Andy, how come you start with a 7-iron? That might be a daft question, but...
Well, generally most fitters will fit round a 7-iron, and then from the 7-iron it bleeds either way.
Right,
you know, in terms of the fit, in terms of length, in terms of lie, it just goes through the whole set.
Because when you do one length, they're based on a 7-iron length, aren't they?
They're based on a 7-iron, so when we fit with one length, we'll base it around the 7-iron, but we'll always go into the 5-iron and the 9-iron to make sure that we get the gaps.
Right, okay.
Because that's the most important thing with one length, because often people with slower swing speeds will struggle to find those gaps, especially between 7-iron and 5-iron. Yeah. Because they could come a bit close together.
Excellent. So we're looking at lie now.
We're looking at lie now. So we're talking about Alex's starting direction, starting left to target there. So we're suspecting that he's probably a little bit too toe high coming into impact, so that's an exaggeration. So it's a mixture of the lie angle and the loft in the club. So you know, if it's coming into impact toe high, even though the leading edge is pointing at your target, the actual face is pointing left of target. Okay. So you could put your best swing on it, hit it out the middle of the golf club, even put it on a tee, and it'll still start left. And then oppositely, obviously this is extreme, if it's toe down coming into impact, the face actually points right of target, and it'll start right at target. So it is affected more in your lofted clubs, your 8, 9 into your scoring clubs, because loft dictates the severity of it really. I mean, the technical name's face plane tilt, and it's a mixture of the lie and the loft of the club.
So if someone's coming for a fitting with you, so say like myself, obviously Alex sort of knows what he wants. Yeah. Like we came in and he said, oh, I like them, we'll have a look at them. So how do you decide what head to use for someone who's completely new, don't know what they want?
Just really through talking to them initially when they come in, find out what handicap they are, where they play, what they're looking for out of a set of clubs. I look at their current set of clubs, which is important. you know, if they come in with a set of cavity back game improvers, I'm certainly not going to look at what we're looking at with Alex. You know, if they're having lessons, you know, if they're trying to improve their game, they're trying to fit somebody into a club that's going to take them forward, and they're not going to have to replace them in 12 months. So yeah, there's a multitude of things I'll look at really, but I think the key thing is a golf club to take them forward.
Pure.
It was nice to see one go right.
Yeah. Might just take me a few just to adjust because I've seen a few go left.
Great shot. Brilliant. Straight away.
Yeah.
Massive, honestly, there's massive difference there.
That looks so much better down the hole.
Yeah.
Would that affect spin a little bit with being a bit up, potentially?
Potentially, yeah. Brilliant. Right, have a look at this.
I've not missed the buddy.
No,
there.
you haven't. It's just the browns in the middle. You could throw your tea towel over them. They are really good. And we've found distance by the looks of that as well.
A bit more speed.
So the brown, so ball speed, you know, we're still up there. So it's consistent with where we were before. We're still 121, launching at 15. So again, we've managed to increase your launch a little bit from your own, which is good. Averaging again on the high side, but I'm fine with that because, like we talked about earlier, you're still a low launcher. A little bit, you need a little bit of spin.
How'd that perform in the wind, do you think?
Okay, because
I wouldn't play a shot like that either.
Well,
so.
you're a good player, so you can manipulate ball flight, can't you, and take spin off it. So that carry's gone up, you know, to 162.
I wouldn't be expecting to match my carry here, by the way. I'm not bothered about that.
Yeah, and I don't think we would.
No, as long as we're sort of around the same mark, like within 3 or 4, 5, maybe 8 yards.
They're going to bring something else to your party. You're going to be able to. You're talking about playing in wind. You're going to be able to play with them a little bit more. You know, ball flight. You know, direction. More so than your own, to be honest. .46. So just traditional, really. So I mean, if you what wedge? What's your first wedge? You got
50.
50, perfect.
50, 54, 58.
Bang on. There you go. You can control that.
That is the end of part 1. Irons are in the bag, and to be honest, I didn't expect to be bladed up.
Absolutely not. Very, very exciting.
Very exciting.
Watch out for the final video in this 3-part series where we'll give you the full specs of everything. But next one will be Wednesday.
Next week Wednesday.
We're looking at woods.
So that'll be my fairway woods and driver, which everyone wants to know sort of ball speed numbers.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So
So keep an eye out for that. Absolutely. And get down in the comments.
Throw it. No.
Get down in the comments what you think so far of the fitting, what irons you would have gone for out of the selection that I've showed you in there. And we will see you on Wednesday.
See you on Wednesday, guys.